everyone. Welcome back to another episode of This Square Room. My name is Jonel.
I'm Deswayne.
Des, how have you been, my friend?
Hot like fire.
The weather's been up and down. You know, we're starting to get into the fall.
My kind of weather.
I mean, you're still complaining, so is it?
It's still hot. It's still hot, but my kind of weather coming up. Coming soon.
You prefer winter?
I 100% do.
Just because of the...
Just because I'm always hot.
Yeah, but like I feel like snow is so annoying.
I don't mind it.
When you live in a city and traffic.
Traffic is when there's sun.
Right. So it's only worse in the winter.
That's
and it's
okay.
Like just when you think it couldn't get worse, it gets worse. Yeah.
So, yeah, I can understand. How are you?
I'm okay. I'm a little nervous because, you know, this trend on TikTok has been going around with like smelling salts.
Nope.
And we're doing that today. You don't know about it?
Nope. We're smelling different salts?
No, smelling salts. I want you to grab that bottle. Yeah.
Okay.
Twist open the cap and give it a whiff. But like you gotta just sniff it right away. It's like those smelling salts, like, you know, like when someone like
It's dead?
not dead, but like
Dying?
Like they pass out to like revive them, or people use it like right before the gym. What? It's not gonna burn your skin. What?
What is that?
It's smelling salts.
Wow.
You just gotta do it like quick.
I smell it.
But you gotta smell it properly. Is it
Why do you hate me?
is it that bad?
Oh, Jesus.
Is that bad?
Oh, God.
I'm scared to try it now. It's that bad?
No, I was just being dramatic.
You didn't even close it properly.
Oh.
Okay.
Just take a whiff. That's it. Just a quick whiff. Nothing crazy.
I'm scared.
Oh!
Oh, it won't close.
Oh, my God.
Oh my God.
Why would they do this to a human?
This one is like formulated for like
Hockey players. What are they doing?
like athletes. Like people do it in the gym, like before you lift. You
Why
just
would
sniff
they
it
do that?
just to get a, I don't know.
Oh, my God.
Okay, that was stupid. I mean, hey, at least you're awake.
That was stupid.
You're awake, you're alert.
It's still in my left nostril.
Just the left?
Yeah.
I don't think I can still smell it. It feels like it's like on the mic or something. I don't know.
Jesus.
But I feel like you got it worse than me.
Yeah, because you're just like sniff. So I put it to my nose and I'm like,
Don't blame me because you said you could smell it from down here. That's why I was like trying to be cautious with it.
why didn't you go first?
What do you mean? Because I was gonna say ladies first, but I'm like that doesn't explain it.
Oh boy. Wow. I definitely would rather do the cinnamon challenge again. For sure.
Again?
Yeah, I did
you did it like a decade ago, and it was
fine.
I never did it.
Well,
no, because it was stupid.
no, it is very stupid, but like realistically,
At least these were actually made for smelling, whether we liked it or not.
Yeah.
But like that, like you could like people choked and died.
Oh, 100%. My brother tried it. Did I tell you?
I don't know.
Both of them? Both of them.
And?
So, me and my friends were at my house. This is like a decade ago, like you said. So at the time, my brother was maybe somewhere between 9 to 12, and the other one was like 15, maybe. So I do it first, and I'm like, to me, you just got to keep moving your mouth. The second you stop, that's when it like feels like it's like closing your lungs and stuff, if that makes sense. No, it doesn't, but it made sense in my brain.
Yeah, okay.
So, like, when you eat it, people chew, and then the second they feel like their throat closing, because that's what it feels like when you're eating it, it feels like your throat is closing. You just
Probably because it is.
Yeah, you just got to keep going. When you stop, you're dead. So I did it, and my friends were like, oh.
Well, you know, your body's response to making you stop is because if you can't breathe, it's trying to get air in.
Nah, you'll be okay.
Okay.
So I did it. It was fine. My brother was like, oh, I'm going to try. I'm like, no, this is the middle one.
Okay.
He's like, he's going to try. And I'm like, no, you're not going to try. Don't do it. So I go upstairs because we're leaving to go to some basketball game or something. So I go get change. I come back and he's in the kitchen. Because obviously my stupid friends were like, yeah, go ahead. You want to do it? Do it. So he did it. So then the younger one was like, okay, I want to try. I'm like, don't try. I want to try. I'm like, okay, just a little bit. He puts it in his mouth. He's like, oh, it's not that. And he starts like hyperventilating and like he's shaking. So we're by the sink and like I just turn on the water and I'm like, open your mouth. He's like, so I like pry his mouth open and I'm just throwing water in his mouth and I'm like, relax, you're fine, blah, blah, blah. And like he just like went to his room to probably go cry himself to sleep like a little baby you are.
Well, he was like a child at the time.
Yeah, but I said don't do it. So look, you want to do it? Go ahead.
Yeah, no, never did it. I saw the challenges obviously when it was like a big thing, but no.
Wow, I feel like what someone...
A brand new man?
No, I feel like what somebody would feel like if they did coke. Like, I think this is what they would feel like. Like,
I don't think it like...
Not the high, like the tingle in your nose.
Maybe.
Like, it's in
You'd have to
my
do like
nose.
a lot of coke. What, you want more?
No, I
like...
want other people to go through this.
You're describing how bad it is, yet you want other people to go through it?
I feel like, I have a couple people in mind that I'm like, smell this. Doesn't this smell weird? And they're like, smelling salt.
Okay, all right. Definitely a little worried about you.
No, that's definitely understandable. Oh, no. Oh,
so
God.
Then stop the sniffling.
I can't. I feel like it's on my nose hairs. Like it's just waiting. You know when you have allergies?
I can't smell it anymore. It did have a lingering
I should have did
smell.
what you did. You kind of held it down here. You're like, ooh.
Well, I only did that because of your reaction. Because when you were holding it here, like down, like on the table, you were reacting very dramatically.
When
you made
me kind of open it, it went psst, like it did that pop sound, and that made me get a whiff, and I was like, oh boy. That's a strong smell.
Yeah, but you didn't go, oh boy. You went, oh my God. So like you made me cautious.
I was expecting like it smelling bad or smelling like, like.
No, it's just supposed to like put you on like alert, like wake the hell up.
Jesus Christ. So this, I can't say this week, right? For the past couple months, one of my friends have been venting to me about his personal life.
Okay.
And I was explaining it to somebody else. But for example, if you tell me something, I'm going to twist it. And if I'm telling somebody else, I'll be like, yeah, I was talking to this guy and da-da-da-da. Because I don't like people knowing certain things about certain people, even if you don't know that person. I feel bad. Does that make sense?
Sure.
You see how sometimes I'm telling a story and I'm like, yeah, this girl. And you're like, what's her name? I'm like, that's not important. And you're like, just tell me. It's not that serious. I don't know her. And I'm like, I don't care.
Okay.
Like that. So I'm talking to a friend and I'm telling her about this guy's issues, what he's going through and stuff like that.
Talking other people's business.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
And she was just like, even though he has been with his significant other for a long period of time, I think they've been together for like 10 years or something like that. Sometimes you still don't know that person because we're always changing as humans. And even though you're together with Jesus Christ, I'm sweating. Even though you're together with somebody and you guys could be together for a long time.
Sorry. I feel like it's like either on me or on the mic, or maybe it's like in my nose hairs.
Like I said, yep.
I don't know.
It's not a good feeling.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah. Even though you guys, are together and whatever, you guys are growing still. So unless you guys are growing together and understanding that you're both still growing, it won't work. So every day, every week, every month, you have to take time to know the person you're with. Mm-hmm. And when she was saying that, I was like, wow, that makes sense. But you don't really think about it in all actuality because, when you're dating somebody, it's very easy to just bypass those kind of things. Like you feel like, okay, I know them. I know what they would do. I know this. but they're also constantly changing. The same way, you know, what you liked 5 years ago, you might not like now. The things you put up with 3 years ago, you probably won't put up with now. And nobody really takes that into thought. And while she was telling me, like, I'm putting in perspective and like, because she was going on a rant. It wasn't a rant, but it was a rant about that kind of stuff. And I'm putting together like pieces of my own life and other people's life. And yeah, that's really the core of it all. Like, you have to understand that the person you're with is also changing. So it's very easy to be in love with somebody 3 years ago. And now you're like, honestly, a lot has changed for me. And maybe nothing has changed drastically for the other person. And maybe that's not what you want in your life anymore. And there's nothing wrong with that. And I was like, huh. Is she secretly trying to tell me to just be alone for the rest of my life? Like, is that what we're getting at here? Like, that's crazy. And I was thinking about you at the end because one of your exes, like, I feel like that was not a part of the issue, but a part of the issue is that, like, in the inconsistency, there's change. So at first, you know, you're showing me you're like this, you're like this, you're like this, and then you stop being like this. So now that's a change, but it's inconsistent to what you were doing before. Mm-hmm. But you're telling me this is how you are, but this is not the you that I was falling in love with, right? Mm-hmm. So like, yeah. I keep saying like, am I a white girl? Like, sorry to all the white girls.
Are you
a white girl?
No. Sorry.
A little bit. I felt bad because I know a lot of white girls who don't say like, and I actually know more black girls that say like than white girls, so that's crazy.
Men say it too.
Yeah, that's true.
Point in case.
Maybe I'm a white girl.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. I think it is important in a relationship, especially one with longevity, that you are getting to know the person. But like, I don't think it's just with romantic relationships.
No.
Like, I think to have long lasting friendships, like, you think that like this friend is the same person that they were when they were a kid. No. I think a lot of their like who they are at their core is probably the same, you know, that fun loving person or that creative spirit or that, you know, techie nerd, like whoever you are, like it can still be you, but like you still grow, you still evolve. Sure. So you're like a different version of yourself. You can be like that with family, like you have your cousins and like, you know, coworkers, friends. And especially, I think the reason why it's so impactful in relationships is because you're like so close to like that person.
Yeah, you guys talk pretty much every day, if not every day.
Right, because like with friends, like you guys may grow apart in certain aspects, but you could still have some that you like get together with. But like with the relationship, if you have too many aspects where you're growing apart, it's hard to stay together. Yeah. So that's why it's like, okay, like let's work on growing together, because sometimes certain aspects you can grow naturally with someone, and sometimes it takes work. Yeah. And it's like if both people are willing to put in the work, then like you can do it. But growing with someone is definitely very important.
Yeah, like you were saying with friendships, like my friends, the ones that are left, like you said, like because it's constantly changing, even in friendships. Like I used to be a very much like, call me, I'll answer. Text me, I'm answering right away. Like sometimes like I would be, let's say, watching a movie with my significant other. If my friend texts me, I'm replying. Whereas, you know, to me, now I'm not going to do that because now it's mine and her time. Like, you know, I'll text you when we're done if I remember. And I never remember.
Keyword, yeah.
Yeah. I feel, I don't want to say I feel bad. I feel at peace by not really answering my phone as often, because before it was like do-do-do-ch, and like there's a girl that I used to sleep with and she brought it up and I was kind of like, it's not that serious. She was like, you know, every time your phone goes off, you immediately grab it no matter what you're doing. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, no, I don't. Maybe like 20 minutes later my phone went off and I went try to get me stupid. And then I realized, yeah, I do. So I made it a point not to. And it felt better not budging from my phone or not pretending to not budge from my phone. And there's a lot of friends who are like, you know, they don't really like that, and we don't really talk anymore, which I'm very much grateful for. I don't like that.
No, I was like, well.
And then there are friends who are like, okay, they understand that for me has changed. Like one of my friends, his birthday passed, and, you know, I said happy birthday, blah, blah. And he was like, oh, well, you know, even though we don't really talk, and even though I hear from you, you know, once a week, once a month, once a year, it doesn't matter how long it's been, you know, you'll always be my brother, and da-da-da. And I'm like, thanks, because I don't know the next time I'll hear from you. Thank you. And yeah, so if you can grow with somebody and understand that they're growing, and you can accept that, then yeah, relationships, friendships, whatever it is, will last a very long time.
Do you feel like people can, let's talk specifically about like relationships, but it can apply to anything.
Okay.
But do you feel like people can change for the better? I'm going to give you a specific scenario, but like just being
change
general.
For the better?
Yeah, like if...
The better of who?
Better
like for them or overall?
For them, for overall, but also to benefit the other person they're in a relationship with, the other party.
Yeah, I think people can change for the better.
Okay, scenario, right?
Okay.
And I'm giving y'all tea right now. So y'all want tea? It's tea on me.
Oh.
Oh, what you want other people tea?
Yeah.
No. So
Okay.
I had a conflict with someone that I was dating, and the conflict was that the last several months I've been very busy. Been busy with obligations, with family. You know, like I help out with like family stuff and work. And what I was doing was, instead of designating time to hang out and like whatever with that person, I was like, you know, I do want to hang out with you, but I'm busy. We'll do it another day, whatever. Now, the reasons were legit. It wasn't like anything crazy or any lies or anything like that. However, it was voiced to me, and like I totally understand their position, but it was voiced to me that like they weren't feeling like a priority. They weren't feeling like their needs were met. They were feeling like, you know, when am I gonna get my time? Yeah. And, you know, I understood that. They initially first told me like, hey, I want to spend more time with you, like months prior. But then things actually got busier after that conversation.
Immediately after.
Yeah, like I want to say maybe within like 2 weeks or so, like it was like, oh shit, this happened. That is now cutting into like my time on the weekends, which is typically when I would see this person.
Time.
Right.
Yeah.
Because, you know, people work in the middle of the week. Not to say you can't see someone in the week, but it really cut into like my weekend time. So now this person is like, oh, like when I finally was able to voice, hey, I want to spend more time with you. Because at first it was consistent, but it was like, hey, like I would like more time. I was like, okay, yeah, that's fine. And then couldn't fulfill that. Well, that's the thing. It's not even a couldn't. It's that I didn't. And I was telling myself I couldn't, but the truth is.
You didn't.
Yeah, the truth is, and like I see it from their position. Because while, yes, I was really busy, I feel like the mindset I had was like, oh, like, let me just deal with this, you know, let me help out this family member for a couple weeks and then my schedule will clear up. Or let me just get over this hump at work that I'm stressed out about. And I kept like doing the like, and then, instead of being like, well, I'm busy right now, but how can I like manage that so that nobody's feeling neglected? I don't have to neglect work. I don't have to neglect my friends. I don't have to neglect this person. I don't have to neglect myself and my own needs, my dog, right? But I was just going through a phase where, well, he has needs. My dog has needs. So it was just kind of like, how do I go through life and like achieve balance? Because that's ultimately what it is. Like you go through ups and downs. People get busy, get less busy, but it's like I was handling it the wrong way because in my head I was like, let me just hunker down on these couple things.
And then things will get better. But
in the meantime, that person is feeling neglected. Yeah. They're feeling like their needs aren't being met. Fair. It is fair. Now, the question is, now that, you know, and that's the thing, because their thing was like, oh, like, if you wanted to spend time and if you're saying that you could do a better job at managing the time, then why haven't you done it? And I'm like, you know what? I was handling it wrong, and I was like, it was stressful for me, like doing like everything with work and just having like a million different things coming at me that I just focused on a couple of the important things and even neglected some of the other important things, not just the person, like just
even stuff for yourself too.
Right. Yeah. So I'm like, I can see that. I can admit like that's on me, and like I can do better because I want to. It's like, obviously if I'm talking to you, if I'm hanging out with you, I want to see you. I want to spend time. Every relationship I've been in, love spending time with the person, love dedicating the time, doing things with them, yada, yada, yada. So it was never for lack of wanting. It was just like, you know, I was dropping the ball because I was allowing myself to be stressed and overwhelmed rather than trying to manage my time better. Now, their thing is, okay, but like, I guess they're like apprehensive that I can make that change for the better.
Okay.
My position is, yeah, I'm busy. I'm not always this busy.
Yeah.
So like, I have been able, like, it's like, you know yourself, right?
Yeah.
So I'm like, I know that I can make the time. And especially, I think the thing that like, I feel, at least, I don't know if it like resonates with the other person, but it's like when you want to see someone, it's like you make it happen.
Yeah.
And then that
like I'm technically cutting into my own personal time.
Right.
For you. And that's saying a lot because I could be sleeping.
Well, sure.
Sorry, that's what it is for me. Yeah.
Your thing is always
you always sleeping. Yeah.
Yeah. You're like, I could be smoking a blunt.
And then going to sleep.
Watching porn and going
to sleep. You know what
sleep.
I'm saying? Come on.
Sleeping for like 10 to 15 hours minimum.
I wish.
I just described your like dream
day.
Please,
please.
Oh, it involves food in there at some point.
Eventually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, you know, like when someone or something is important, you make it happen. And I guess they felt like they weren't important enough, or like my life was just too busy to like accommodate them. And like my point was just that like, yeah, like I have been really busy, and there will be periods again in the future where I'm really busy. Yeah. Like, you know, I can't predict the future, but what I can be in control of is how I manage my time to make sure that like something like that doesn't happen again, or at least not to that extent. Because no one's perfect. There may be an emergency or whatever, but overall it's like, how can I manage my time better?
Yeah.
And like, they're like, okay, cool. But like, I guess there's still a little
skeptical.
Yeah. Like proceed with caution.
Yeah.
Which I understand, but it's also like, how do you make someone understand that their priority without making it feel fake? Because now all of a sudden, if I'm like, okay, let me carve out this designated time for you, let's hang out, let's do this, let's do that, they're kind of like, all of a sudden now it's great, but like kind of like it's too good to be true.
No, well,
like waiting on the other shoe to drop.
Yeah, well, they can feel like that, that's fine. But at the end of the day, if I am now currently making that time for you, you can't be like, oh, so you could have before and you just didn't. We established that. We established that my time management wasn't good. So I am making an effort to make it better. I still
stand by the fact that my reasons were valid. 100%. It's just the way I was managing my time. And like, I would never want to like hurt someone. If I'm showing interest in you, even as a friend, we're talking about any sort of relationship. If I was neglecting my friends, if I was neglecting my family, if I was neglecting my dog, you know, it's like I would never want to do that
on purpose or
right. And like the truth is, I was neglecting stuff I had to do for myself. Like I was just busy, and I was just focusing on like maybe like the top like 2 things. And then, you know, just managing the day-to-day in between.
Yeah.
Right? So, like, I get why they're skeptical, but it's kind of like, how do you show someone...
You just keep going.
But they feel like it's fake.
It's not fake. You can feel like it's fake. It's like you being in love with somebody.
Or I shouldn't say fake. I think they feel like it's... Not even forced, maybe a little bit. The word I was going to use is like temporary. It's like, you know, when someone, okay, like you were talking about my last relationship, right? And it's like you talk about.
That's even worse than forced.
Right. It's like, yeah, I'll make this change, and you do it for like a short amount of time.
And then you're going to stop. Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
I think that's what the.
Yeah, that would piss me off. Now I don't even want to do it.
Right.
Yeah.
And then I think this person is like, well, I don't want to like get my hopes up. And
start
then
getting used to this, and then you do it again, and then mash up all. Yeah. That's fair.
It is fair, but it's like, how do you work around someone's, I don't want to say insecurity, but like feeling of, they don't feel secure with the consistency.
Yeah, with the commitment that you
they're
think
like,
you
oh,
can
the
make.
consistency is good. See, me, what I said to them, and I'm saying to you and whatever, and to any other friends I've spoken about this, is I know myself. Mm-hmm. You know me. Why would I put myself in a situation where, like, I know that, like, I'm going to be unhappy? Like, if I'm saying, oh, I can spend more time with you, and I know that, like, it's going to stress me out. I can't do it. I won't be able to. Right. I won't do it. Yeah. If they are asking anything of me and I'm like, ugh, I don't want that. Like, you know, I'm not going to do it.
Not a chance.
Right. Like we talked about, like, my friend who was just like, you know, never say never to certain things. And I'm like, never to this, never to that.
Yep, never will.
Yeah. So it's like, I know myself well enough to be like, well, if I want to spend more time with you and I want to manage my time better, it's something that benefits me. So I want to do it for me. I also want to do it for you, for whatever relationship we have. But also, it's like, you know, let me show you. Like, I get why you're apprehensive, but, like, you gotta, like...
Yeah, cut me a little slack and just have a little faith in me a little bit, please.
Right. That's what I feel like. It involves, like, trust. And, like, this person has said, like, I trust you a lot. And I'm like, you maybe trust me with a lot of things. You don't trust me with this thing. Yeah. You don't trust me with this making you a priority. Yeah. And then he was like, yeah, you're right. And I'm like, yeah, like, when I say you need to trust me, I don't mean, like, overall. I mean with this specific thing. Yeah. You need to trust that I say I
mean what I say.
Right. And then also that, like, I was like, no offense to you, but, like, why would I do that to myself? If I truly feel like I cannot spend the time with you and give you the commitment you want, why am I going to put myself in a position to, like,
force to see you and then just be like,
miserable? Yeah, why would I do that? Yeah.
Cause problems for myself.
Yeah.
It's crazy that you say that. Somebody at work, this girl at work came to me and she's like, you know, Des, I want to ask you a question. I'm like, okay. She said, somebody said something to me earlier and it, you know, kind of hurt me, but like a reality check kind of thing. I said, okay. She said, do you think I'm a good friend? I said, to who? And she's like, overall. I said, I can't answer overall. I can answer about me and about others. I can't say overall. I can't group the two together. So she's like, why not? I said, do I think you're a good friend? To me, yes. Mm-hmm. However, the way I see you handle other people you call friends, honestly, no. And she's like, really? You think so? And I was like, yeah. And I was giving her examples of, like, you know, you told me that this person called you and you have yet to call them back. However, if you miss a call from me, you'll call me back immediately. You know, you'll see what's up with me, but you won't see what's up with them, blah, blah, blah. And she was like, wow, like, that's crazy. And I was like, yeah, you know, we have a mutual friend who told me they don't feel like you're a friend. They've known you longer than I have, but you talk to me way more. You'll share things with me way more, blah, blah. And then it came down to, you know, Des, you make me feel comfortable to tell you these things. I don't feel like you're judging me. I don't feel like blah, blah. Whereas people who are my friends, sometimes when I tell them things, I feel like they're judging me. And you don't make me feel like that. So, of course, blah, blah. I said, yeah, but they don't know that. You know, it's hard to, well, it's not hard, but it's uncomfortable to look at your friend and be like, look, I don't like telling you things because I feel like you're judging me. Mm-hmm. And then be like, wow, really? I'm so sorry. I don't want you to feel like that. That's not the case. No. Usually it gets a bitter response. Like, what are you talking about? I would never do that. Mm-hmm. And then they go behind your back and talk about you to somebody else. So I could understand where she was coming from with, you know, well, Des, this is why I'm comfortable with you. And I said, that's fair. However, to somebody who still values you as a friend, you're not a good friend. They're checking on you. You're telling them you're fine, but then you're going and telling Des what's wrong. You can also tell me.
Yeah, communicate with them.
Exactly. So she was like, you know what? You put it that way. That makes sense. You know, blah, blah. You know, it's just this. It's just that. I said, yeah, so you're making excuses. Mm-hmm. So if I'm that friend, it's okay. You don't need to make excuses. And she's like, oh, shit. You know, fuck. Okay, fine. I'll do better. I'm like, yeah, you know, if you want to do better, do better. But if you don't mind, no. People will call me. I'll look at the missed call. Like, okay. So one of my oldest women friends.
Scooch over while you say that. Okay, not like that.
You said scooch.
Move your chair over in a less creepy way. Continue your story.
One of my friends who I've been friends with since grade 4. Our talking is very inconsistent, but when it's consistent, it's consistent. And I have not.
Okay. It's inconsistent, but when it's consistent, it's consistent.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's up and down.
Yeah.
It's consistently inconsistent.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Perfect. So maybe the last 3 months, I haven't heard from her. I haven't heard from her. I haven't answered my phone.
Okay.
And she has called me plethora of times.
She's in line with all the others.
Yeah. And then a couple of days ago, I had texted her and I said, I hate calls. Just text me. And she texted me back and said, I hate texts. And then I didn't reply. And then we did the how are yous a couple of days later. 3 days ago, I realized she texted me and said, how are you doing though? That was 3 days ago. I feel like I shouldn't reply because it's been 3 days.
I'm also a bad texter. The thing with me is that I think sometimes you just get so many notifications. You get text, you
God.
Get what is it? WhatsApp, you get Instagram,
everything.
You get TikTok, you get people are DMing you everywhere, and it just gets overwhelming because sometimes YouTube. It really is short. Who's DMing you on YouTube?
No, not like DMs, just notifications.
No. Oh, yeah. Well, then there's all the Google and Snapchat and
I just swipe those Gmail and
Twitter and X and there's so many notifications. So it goes unnoticed sometimes, and I feel like people think I'm ignoring them. I'm I'm not. I am a bad texter, but I'm not trying to be.
Yeah.
But part of my it doesn't even involve this person, but that's part of my thing. I'm trying to be better at that.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, trying to be better overall.
That's good. I wouldn't even try. I realize what I do is because, like I said, I'm not into my phone the way I used to be. Mm-hmm. I'll see the notification, and because I don't want to keep seeing it, I just swipe it away. And I don't open my text message app. I don't open WhatsApp. So unless you message me again, I will completely forget.
That happens sometimes. Sometimes I will try to clear it up because it's so many notifications. And if you swipe it away, sometimes you do forget. Yeah. And the thing is, even with normal text, part of the reason why my standard texts go unread is because these scammers nowadays are constantly calling, constantly texting. I had a friend who I hadn't spoken to in a couple months call me. He called me initially in June. We had a talk. He was he was out of the country and he was yeah, I'm back now. This is my new number. Save it. I'm okay. So I got a call from this number, but I'm ignoring it because of all these scam calls. Mm-hmm. But one day I think I was expecting a call, and sometimes you don't know, even if it's not saved in your phone, when you're expecting a call, you're more likely to answer it. Yeah. So I answer and he was hey, it's me. And I'm I don't have this number saved. And he was yeah, since then I got a new number. And I'm well, you're lucky I answered.
Yeah, because I don't answer.
I would have never. Yeah. It was just listen, I can't keep up.
Yeah. I don't try to keep up.
I haven't been trying, but I can do better at it.
My cousin. So there's this girl that I used to kind of speak to, and we stopped talking, and she started ignoring me, and I didn't like that. But whatever. So she had texted me one day from some random number I don't know. And she's why do you keep calling me? And I'm I've never dialed this number in my life, so I don't know what you're talking about. And she's just you called me yesterday. I'm well, couldn't have been me because I don't know.
Wait, it was a different number?
Yeah.
But you actually were calling her.
I was calling a different number I had for her.
But she didn't say who it was.
She texted me from another number.
Why wouldn't she just say who it is?
Because she's being difficult. I had, when you have a feeling of who it is sometimes, that's what it was. So as soon as I got, why do you keep calling me? I was and I looked I clicked the number, click call, and I'm
no call history.
Yeah. I was I've never dialed this number, and blah, blah. And then she was stop being stupid. You know who this is. And she said my name. And she's you know who this is, Deswayne. And I'm oh, you know my name, so you must know me. I was being stupid at that point. So
at that point,
I hate you. So she had messaged me from a 437 number, whatever. A couple days later, I get a call, and I'm why is she calling me? And then I look, it's not that number that she texted me from. It's a different number. Okay, scammer. That number calls again the next day. Calls twice the next day, actually. So I messaged them. I text them, and I said, hi. No answer. Okay. 5 a.m. one day, get a call from that number. Who is this? My cousin texts me from his other phone. Des, pick up. It's me. So I call the number back and I'm like, why would you not just text me and tell me, hey, it's cousin Travis? Why? He's like, yo, you text me hi. And I'm like, why is Des texting me hi? I forgot I didn't give you this number. So if I text you hi, reply. Say something. I don't understand. He's like, it's when you message me, who is this? That's when I Yo, anybody, call me from a private number and see what happens.
Why are you threatening people?
Reporting you.
Sometimes they forget.
I don't like that.
If the police can't call these, I've been getting calls and you pick up and they're like, hi, this is so-and-so from Windows and Doors. I just hang Windows and Doors.
Windows and Doors.
Not Windows and Doors Inc. Not Windows and Doors
no,
Toronto.
just Windows and Doors.
So upset with the lack of creativity.
They don't care at this point.
Like, I always get like the duct cleaning ones. I get the texts that are just like, oh, the government has $45,000 for you. Click on this. Or like, your bank account has been compromised for a bank that I don't even bank with. Click on this.
Your Amazon delivery was not picked up.
No, I get the Amazon ones where it's like, oh, like your account, your payment didn't go through. Like, click on this. Otherwise, your Amazon Prime is going to be canceled. And it's like ABCDFGHIJKLOP at hotmail.com.
Try.
Yeah. And I'm just like, so that's why, that's part of the reason. And it's just like being spammed with notifications. And I just get lost in like people who like I genuinely want to get back to.
Yeah.
I feel bad.
I don't. I used to. I don't. I feel like at this point, like, sorry, not sorry. Like, it is what it is. I still love you.
See, but we're different people. Okay, so back to my initial question, now that you know the backstory that I gave you, do you think people can change for the better?
Yes.
Do you think I can change for the better?
100%.
Because
if anybody can, you can. Because you're very aware of yourself, and you're like, when somebody's like, hey, Joe, you did this, I don't like this, you'd be like, oh my God, I am so sorry. I never meant, like, you're very honest and apologetic. Mm-hmm. If it was something you did on purpose because of something they did, you'd be like, hey, look, I'm sorry you feel that way, but you did this. And that's why I now do blah, 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 blah. Mm-hmm. So if anybody can change, it's definitely you.
Yeah. And I think in this situation, it's important to note that, like, it's not like I'm changing because of this person. It's like, this person made me realize.
Exactly. Yeah.
But like,
and that's why you said overall, like, you want to do a better job. Yeah.
In ways that would benefit me.
Yeah. No. It's not. I wouldn't have thought it was for that particular person.
It's my new season resolution. Like New Year's resolutions.
This is new season.
Nice. Oh yeah, and we're getting into fall.
I like that.
Yeah.
I like that. That's a good one.
Okay, you want to do a listener question?
Yes, we can.
Oh, but wait, I have one more question for you. Because we're talking about, can people change? Mm-hmm. What about if someone has like a bad habit? Like, for example, a habit of like every couple months they are breaking their phone beyond recognition, smashing it to smithereens. Mm-hmm. Can people break old habits like that?
Honestly, probably not.
For those of you listening, if you don't get the context, you know what? I'm gonna let you tell it. You tell it, Des. Go for it. Actually, no. Show them. For those watching, show them first.
For those watching, okay.
Show it to your camera first.
You. Okay. Which one? Both of them at the same time, or?
Well, one first.
So this is the back of my phone, and this is the front of my phone. Do you guys see that?
For everyone listening, it is it looks like a cracked glass mosaic.
You know the movie Glass?
Sure. Yeah, I haven't seen it, but
oh my God, it's really good.
I know, it's on my list of things to watch. Yeah.
Have you seen the other one with just the guy? What's it called? Split?
Yes.
Oh, that was so good. I watched it like 6 times.
I really like Split. I know it had some controversy in the DID community because they're like, it doesn't represent dissociative identity disorder properly. But I still thought it was an entertaining movie.
It was really good.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So this is the front of my phone. Now, this happened a couple days ago. This, what could be worse than that, right? This is the inside.
Hold it up, like, yeah.
You see that?
Hold your hand behind it like a makeup beauty guru so they can see. Yeah. His screen, like the actual phone screen,
like the screen itself,
the top and middle, the top and sides are completely disconnected from the body of the phone.
Yep.
It's literally, this is the definition of hanging on by a thread.
No, literally. Like, I
like
always
a cord,
thought behind the phone screen, there was like a whole bunch of like motherboard and stuff, like you said.
Let me see if I can get a video of it on my phone that we could like insert so they can see it closer. Hold it like here, and then I'll try to.
Oh boy, this is just embarrassing.
Wait, it's not focused. My phone's like, I don't want to
be a part of this.
It's not focusing. Yeah, I think they can see.
How the screen came off.
Sorry, I had to take the little dig at you.
No. I understand.
Because Des, it's every
year.
It's more than every year.
Well, this phone I've had,
like you said,
for 10 months now.
You said, but the screen thing you said happened a month ago.
Yes.
And then it wasn't working. Then you got it to work, and then you smashed it, and then, but like, you're not getting it fixed. Nope. You're not trying to.
Nope. And the reason why, and like I had looked back at the first like electronic thing I can remember getting at a reasonable age to take care of things. And it was when MP3s were like a big thing. And, you know, at first you would have to have the cord, but then they made the MP3s that you plug straight into the computer with a USB. Okay, so my mom had bought me one for Christmas, and I was so excited, and I was like, yeah, I'm super tech savvy. I'm going to open this MP3, and I'm going to look at what connects to what, and I'm going to put this back together.
Like open it up?
Like,
I thought you meant plug it in the computer and open up the files.
No, like take out screws.
Why would... And you obviously had to be like a child.
I was about 11.
You were about stupid.
I was definitely stupid because the second I took out the screws and I
11
opened
is too old. I thought you were younger.
That's what I'm saying. At an age where you know better.
You didn't.
I didn't. And not one song went on that MP3. I just carried it around just so my mom thought I was using it. But not one song because I mashed it up.
Oh, before you even got to like use it.
Didn't use it at all.
Kids like you. This is why we can't have nice things. Like you were that person.
I'm so bad with electronics. It's embarrassing.
It is.
Like, as a grown man, it's embarrassing.
It is.
I am embarrassed for myself.
You should be.
Yeah. Not a lot of things embarrass me. This is very embarrassing.
As it should be.
Yeah.
More things should embarrass you, though.
Oh, 100%. 100%.
But yes, okay, if you guys are listening and you want to be a part of the podcast, you can go to thissquareroom.com. You can write in. You can choose to be anonymous, or you can choose to tell us your beautiful name. We'd love to hear from you. So again, if you have a story, a question, or anything that you want to contribute, it's thissquareroom.com. Today, we have a question from Ryan, and the subject is double standard.
Oh boy.
He says, "Hi guys, I would like to ask your opinion of double standards in relationships. I've been dating my girl for a few months, and she's made it clear she doesn't want me liking other girls' pictures online, so I don't. It even got to the point where she had a problem with me liking videos on TikTok that female creators made, but yet she can like guys' photos and videos and doesn't see anything wrong with it. And she says it's different when men do it, but I feel like it's unfair. What do you guys think?"
Can I go?
Sure.
Hey, Ryan. First of all, first thing you have to ask yourself is, do you really have a problem with it? Or is your problem that she has a problem with you doing it? Because
Wait, what?
So I'm a very petty person. So is he saying, oh, is it a double standard? She's doing it. Like, sometimes you really don't have a problem with it. It's just that the fact.
Oh, it's like I can't
because
do it.
I can't do it. You can't do it.
Sure. Okay.
So that's what I mean. So if it's one of those, Ryan, it's not that serious. If you really have a problem with it, then yeah, for sure. Voice your opinion, voice your concern. And if she's really like, oh, it's no big deal, then maybe you need to reassess being with her, because this is just the beginning of things that are going to be like this. That's if you really and truly have a problem with it. But if you're thinking about it in your heart of hearts and you're like, honestly, it's only because she said I can't do it, then suck it up. You'll be fine. It's not that serious. My girl can like all the pictures she wants. I don't even get me started, because
I think I like your point that like evaluate why you're like really upset with it. But a little part of me agrees with her that it's a little bit different between men and women. But I'm like, these days men, just like women post thirst traps, men do as well. So it's like it could kind of be the same, but you're more likely to see a man slide into a woman's DMs or like take it too far compared to women. Women do it too, though. So I can't say I fully agree with her, but I get her point.
The only reason why I disagree with her point is if you like, okay, if you're with a guy and you feel like, I don't want you liking no girl's pictures because I don't trust that. Okay, so anybody can message anybody on Instagram, you know? Mm-hmm. Even if your account is private, you can still get a DM. It's whether you accept it or not. Mm-hmm. Now,
even a public account, like you have to like approve
so even
if you don't follow the person. Then.
With that, like there's nothing he can do about someone going into his DM. Now, if you think your man is sliding into others people's DM, that's a whole different topic. So if her issue is just, oh, you're double tapping this picture and moving on with your life, I don't like that, it makes me uncomfortable, then okay, fine. I can understand that. Like he said, he stopped. But his issue is that she's doing it. So now it's a double standard. It's not a double standard. It's her telling you, I don't like this. If you don't like it, Ryan, then that's a conversation.
Yeah.
But it's not a double standard for her to not like it and do it.
No, it's a very good point. If your reasoning for wanting to object to like her being able to like other guys' stuff is only because you can't do it, then like if you really don't like, if you're not uncomfortable with it or you have no problem, then I say like let it be, because you know, you're making problems where problems aren't.
Yeah.
However, if it is bothering you, then voice it and let her know. Be like, you know, it's a little similar to you. Like, it makes me feel a little uncomfortable, maybe, dare I say, insecure. Mm-hmm. And like, unless it's something completely unreasonable, I don't think you should always give in to every insecurity. Yeah. But I do think it is your job to make the person that you're with feel secure. So if that means distancing yourself between, you know, a woman or certain groups of women or whatever, I think within reason you could do that. Mm-hmm. I don't think you need to go to the extreme. Like some people will have you believe that you should, but I would say double down on what Des said, which is evaluate what your reasoning is, mm-hmm. and then go off of that.
Like I was just thinking, like if I had Tinder and I had met Jesus, like I am sweating.
You can't blame the
no. Now it's not that anymore. If I had Tinder and I had met a girl on Tinder, and we started taking each other seriously and actually dating, like, you know, okay, we're together now. Mm-hmm. It's not wrong for me to be like, hey, I'm not okay with you being on Tinder. Because to me, we met on Tinder. Now, I'm not telling you to delete your account, but if you're consistently on Tinder still swiping, that I would have a problem with, because me and you are dating. What are you swiping
Yeah,
for?
I think once you have that conversation of like, we're exclusive, there should be no more.
Like I said, I'm not going to be like, oh, you need to delete your account and deactivate the app. Like, no, but I don't think you need to actively be on the app. Like, for example, like my girlfriend still has Tinder. Does she use it? Not that I know of, nor do I really care. But it's just certain things like you don't want your partner to do. And maybe she has her reasons. Maybe she's been with, you know, exes who said it was nothing and then found out they were cheating with a girl they met on Instagram, and it started with a liked picture. You know, people have things that they've been through before you. Mm-hmm. And so, you know, depending on her reasoning, it might be valid for her to be like, yeah, like I don't want you liking other girl stuff. But yeah, like I said, if you are just saying it to, you know, be like, hey, you said I can't, so you can't.
Yeah. Don't do the tit for tat thing in a relationship, because it will never go right.
Never go right.
Yeah, because then you're doing it just to be petty. I was just about to say, at that point you're doing it only to be petty, not because that's how you really feel. And I feel like it devalues everything else. Like when you genuinely do have feelings about things.
Exactly.
When, you know.
Yeah.
So.
I hope that helped.
Yeah. Thank you for writing in.
I'm not telling you you're wrong, but just reevaluate.
No, if you genuinely have feelings, like if you have a problem with it, you're not wrong at all. But if you don't have a problem with it and you're just trying to get at her because she got at you.
Yeah. Yeah. I'll give you some petty lessons, but not right now. Not right now. Now is just a learning moment.
It is a learning moment.
I don't want to learn it.
Before we go on to our next learning moment, I want to thank Ryan again and remind you guys all that if you want to write in, go to thescrewroom.com for a question, a story, anything that you want to tell us. We would love to hear. The learning moment is, well...
No.
What?
No.
Do you think it's possible to get salmonella in your penis?
I would hope not.
I'm gonna read you a story. It was like a anonymous.
Yeah, they better be anonymous.
Yeah, right. So this person like wrote into this forum to like ask questions to like other people to get their opinion. Mm-hmm. So this person says, "Hi guys, I was cooking last night making some chicken breasts. I had spilled some soda on my pants, so I was cooking without pants on. I was moving some trays around and I accidentally dropped a chicken breast on the floor, but it
Stop, please. Mm-hmm. He's literally fucking the chicken. Because there ain't no way you tell me you spilled soda on your pants, so you just decided to take everything off and just be in the kitchen cooking with no pants on.
That's wild, especially if there's oil.
In your own house.
Especially if there's oil. Some people like to be naked in their own house.
No, I can understand that. I can understand. I've seen people cook with a little bit of no clothes on.
A little bit of no clothes on.
Joe, if you spill a little bit of soda on your pants at home, you're going to go take everything off immediately? I'm at home. Who cares? Whatever. You know, some paper towel. Continue. This guy is sick. Sick and twisted.
I was moving some trays around and accidentally dropped a chicken breast on the floor. But it hit my penis before it hit the floor.
If I've ever heard a lie in my life.
This morning, my penis seems like it is inflamed and the pee hole hurts if I touch it. Is it possible I got salmonella poisoning? So obviously.
My nigga, obviously the chicken hit your dick and you didn't wipe it off? You didn't wipe your penis off?
Obviously, you're hearing this story and you're like, BS. Like you said, who takes their pants off when they're cooking?
You don't have boxers, underwear, nothing under.
Some people don't, but like it's still weird. If you're someone who cooks with pants on and you have to change, why wouldn't you just throw something else on? Unless you're a nudist all the time, it doesn't make sense.
It doesn't.
But it's like, on top of that, you drop the chicken breast and it hit your dick in a way that it got into the pee hole and the pee hole.
That means your dick was hard as far as I'm concerned.
So the responses to this, first person said, "You fucked those chicken breasts, didn't you?"
Dead ass. You did. Just say it.
And then the next person, "You fucked the raw chicken, didn't you?"
You see what I'm saying?
And then someone else said, "You did."
You did. You did.
You did.
You did. Just say that.
You did.
Oh my God.
So like I promised you a learning lesson.
Oh my God.
You might get an infection in your penis if you I know you love chicken, but I'm not implying that you love it like that, because that's crazy. But just so forewarning, in case you ever do get the thought, the desire, any of you, just probably avoid it.
That was the worst lie I've ever heard.
But then, like,
you know what the crazy part would be?
What?
If it wasn't a lie. I would feel so bad.
I feel bad, but like no one would ever believe it. So no, he could never prove that it wasn't a lie. That's why he's anonymous. It's so far-fetched that it could be true. Like, yeah, I didn't want to run all the way up the stairs. I was already cooking. Maybe, the food was going to burn. So I just took off the pants and left them off. So, as I'm cooking, drop the chicken breast, graze my dick. Maybe I just have a big dick. Or maybe it's not even big. Maybe just hit it at a certain angle.
Yeah.
And now it feels off.
Okay, for
maybe
example,
the chicken was low-key like going bad a little bit, or because it was the raw chicken, touching the raw dick, like raw on raw is a lot of rah.
Rah. If anything, as far as I've seen with most humans, if anything out of the ordinary touches you on your skin, your first instinct is to wipe it off.
Well, yeah, because when the instinct of soda, like his instinct when the soda hit him.
Take off your pants.
Right.
The raw chicken touched you. You never thought to wipe your dick off.
Maybe he wiped it with like a paper towel but didn't wash. Because a dry paper towel is not going to get off any bacteria.
I don't think he...
We're trying to justify something that is clearly a lie.
Yeah.
And it's probably the best lie he could come up with, because how else can you justify chicken on your dick? But...
honestly, you can't.
No, you can't. You can't. He fucked up.
He did. He shouldn't have wrote anything. Oh my God. Imagine going to the hospital and explaining that story to the nurse.
Oh, I feel like the ER nurses and doctors hear the craziest stories.
The craziest.
They hear some of the wildest stuff. Like, I know it. I just know it.
Oh my God.
It's anyways, moving on. We're going to do the question of the day. Okay, question of the day today.
Choke the chicken.
I mean, chicken choked him out. Well, choked on the dick. Yeah. What do you think my superpower is? I can go first because I feel like you're going to take a second. Yours is for sure the ability to sleep anywhere. And like, you may not think it's a superpower until you're someone with like insomnia. And I was talking to someone about this the other day. The fact that like men, like when you guys are like, I'm tired, you can just close your eyes and go to bed. Whereas like with me, unless I am so tired that I fall asleep, like to put myself to sleep, I normally, you watch something or you wind
something
down.
Soft in the background.
Something, but like to just be like, okay, I'm going to go to sleep and close your eyes. Like it doesn't happen unless I'm like dying. But like on an average day, like that to me is a superpower.
I can like that. I had 5 minutes of my break left of work and I was like, all right, I'm going to sleep. And the person was like, Des, you have 5 minutes. And I was like, wake me up. And I was out.
Yeah.
They like said 30 seconds I was snoring.
I'm lucky if I can fall asleep in 5 minutes.
That's crazy.
I remember when we were on the plane and you were like, yeah, I'm going to sleep on the plane. And we're like, yeah, of course. Like sleep on the plane. Before, like, as soon as like the gates closed and everyone was in their seat, you were snoring. Like they hadn't done the safety thing. The plane hadn't taken off. Everyone was like, this out. Dude is snoring.
Out.
Like it's
out. I opened my eyes. I seen everyone look at me. I heard people laughing and I knew what they were laughing at and I went right back to sleep. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
I would say yours is understanding. And that might go a little bit unnoticed because you were like, your level and ability of fairly understanding a situation, even if somebody has done you wrong, you'd be like, okay, let me hear this out. Whereas most people are like, okay, let me hear what you have to say. It's coming from like a negative place. Mm-hmm. Yours is more like a zero, like, okay, let me take myself out of the situation. Let me hear. Okay, that doesn't make sense. Okay, I can understand this. So your level of understanding situations and people, I would say is a superpower because I don't have that in me. I don't think a lot of people in the world have that in them.
Okay.
Like even the story you were telling us earlier, like for you to be like, because most people, like I said, would come up with excuses.
A friend of mine said that too. She was like, the fact that like I admitted where I was wrong instantly. And I'm like, but like once they explain it to me, like I'm not going to argue like.
But most people would. That's the thing. Like if somebody like the same thing.
I'm not too proud to say I can be wrong at times or like do things wrong. Like I'm not perfect. I'm a human. Yeah. Like I can think, but I think it is hard to like take accountability and like hold up a mirror to yourself.
Yeah.
Like we're telling Ryan, like hold up a mirror and look at like what your real reason is. And like I had to do that with myself. But like I think that comes from like empathy. I think I've always been good at like like putting myself in other people's shoes.
But you're good at both, being sympathetic and empathetic. Usually people are only good at one more than the other, but I feel like you have a fair balance of the two. Like I can be empathetic. I don't know how to be sympathetic. Like I find it very hard to be sympathetic, but I can put myself in your shoe for sure. But I can't be like, oh my God, I'm so sorry to hear that. I don't give a fuck. But I understand why you give a fuck. Mm-hmm. Yeah, but you can definitely do both. And that is very, very superhero. Yeah.
Thank you. Oh my God. Now mine seems stupid. Like he can sleep.
I didn't, when you're like, oh, you have to think about it. I didn't have to think about it. I knew the answer right away.
I thought, well, in comparison, because once as I was reading the question, I'm like, oh, yeah.
I got it.
Like,
yeah.
Like,
no, that would be yours.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much.
No problems.
And thank you guys for being here, for listening, for watching, whatever it is. As Des always prompts me to say, tell a friend to tell a friend. God forbid I don't say it. I'm going to hear about it later. But yeah, again, it's thissquareroom.com. All of our socials are at This Square Room. You can find Deswayne at
DesiD18 on Instagram.
And you can find me at Jonel Wilson. And that's it for today. So thank you so much. And we will see you next Tuesday.